welcome to the WellPlayed DLC, a special E3 episode here. We're going to dissect the Microsoft conference. I'm here with Kieran Verbruge, I think that's how you say your name.
Kinda.
Jordan Garcia and Kieran Stockton. So because we've got two Kierans, we'll go KV and KS. How you guys going this morning?
Good. Tired.
Yeah, tired.
I'm actually feeling excellent. I've had heaps of sleep. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Wait, did you have heaps of sleep or like?
That's actually a lie.
Yeah, it's a total lie. Had one too many shandies last night. Woke up early this morning and feeling like garbage. But
Now that I believe.
there we go.
But we saw Godzilla, so it was worth it.
Oh, thank God for that.
So guys, let's get stuck into it. What'd you think of Xbox/Microsoft's conference?
Terrible.
Meh.
Eh.
Yeah, it was a bit underwhelming. I thought with Sony not being there that Microsoft would just, lay it all on the table. But yeah, they
Kind of played it safe.
they didn't blow me away.
They made
I
it
was-
so long.
I was talking to a friend and he said he's an Xbox fan, but he said Sony won E3 and they weren't even there.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I think the most impressive or the most exciting announcement that they had was the Cyberpunk Keanu Reeves thing, and that's not even a first party
No.
or an exclusive
That was
of
fantastic.
sorts.
He's just everywhere. He was even in a terrible movie we watched last night called The
that
Neon
was just-
Demon.
I reckon that's actually possibly worse than The Visit. That film
I
was.
love Neon Demon. What are you talking about?
Oh, you can't.
Really?
You can't, man.
God, you're a hipster. No one can like that film. It's
My boy Winding
so...
Refn.
Oh, that
Death
was
Stranding.
just
2020.
next level.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's get stuck into it. They kicked off with the Outer Worlds. I wasn't actually in the room because I was making Your Highness here, Kieran, KS, sorry, a coffee. But what did we think
good
of
too.
the Outer Worlds?
It's pretty fun.
It looks like what Fallout this gen should have been.
Yeah, for sure.
Did anyone get Borderland vibes from it at all?
Yeah,
That's
yeah. When I first looked at it, I was like, is this supposed to be like a Borderlands ripoff? And then when I realized it was Obsidian, I was like, oh, it is.
Oh, spot on. I like the look of it though. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks pretty fun.
Did they give a date for that? Or no, they didn't?
No, I don't think so. But that's not a Xbox exclusive though, is it? No. God, no.
It's an
No,
Epic
but
exclusive
they-
for PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Thought it might be a Windows Store exclusive.
Nah.
Yes, okay. Just going by Kieran's KS's notes here. So the next game was the new Ninja Theory game, Bleeding Edge, which again I wasn't in the room for. I was making myself a coffee this time. So what did we think about that?
Thought it looked really cool, but it's not something that I'll probably play.
It looks doomed to die. It's a
Right.
PvP.
Yeah.
It
So
looks
was it
looks
like
it-
Evolve
I
kind
like
of
the
thing,
art
where
style.
it's just sort of it'll have like a good 2 or 3 months life, and then
I think it'll go a bit longer than that, just because it's designed. It's kind of like Overwatch in the turn that it's like it's all about heroes rather than asymmetrical gameplay.
Yeah.
As long as it's more Overwatch than Battleborn, it should be right.
Oh come on! If you ask Randy, Battleborn's perfect.
In every way. I reckon Bleeding Edge looks really cool. And Ninja Theory, I don't think have made a bad game yet. Is that right? Got Enslaved, DMC, the best game ever. No.
Kieran, can you just type a little bit heavier on the keyboard, please?
Can do. Just cross-fertilizing the data now.
Oh god!
Okay. Yeah, maybe keep the typing to a minimum.
Carry on.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, that was the second announcement. Then we had a game that a few of you guys were looking forward to, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and we got a
Yeah.
release date, which was actually a bit later than what I thought, February 11th,
Yeah.
2020. I was expecting
2020. Sounds futuristic, doesn't
later
it?
this year, but not to be.
It looks really good though. The art is exactly what I was wanting it to be.
So just like the first game,
Yes.
nice.
I reviewed the first game, didn't I?
Yes.
I think I gave it a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't like an 8.3 or something.
I do love a good point score.
Kieran, KV, sorry, what did you think about that?
I mean, yeah, it looks as good as it has since the 2 or 3 years ago that I announced it.
It's going to be
How long
awesome.
ago
It's
it was.
guaranteed.
Yeah, for sure.
But Yeah, yeah.
That one's in the bag for Microsoft, which they need.
I was expecting possibly a like a cross announcement with the Switch. That's
Yeah. I don't know, maybe
Maybe they're holding off for like
on Wednesday.
almost like a deluxe package to release Ori 1 and 2 together on the Switch.
perhaps.
Could be.
We then had Minecraft, Kieran,
Minecraft Dungeons.
Diablo Dungeon Crawler, which I sort of tuned out during, so I'm not too sure what that was all about.
It's basically Minecraft but Diablo gameplay. Looks pretty cool.
It actually looked kind of cool. I was surprised by it.
And that's coming spring 2020. I don't know if that was that spring US date.
That'd be spring US date, I think.
Okay, so it's like autumn. Yeah, and then they had a bit of a circle jerk to the 60 games, 14 first party titles, and the 30 games on Game Pass.
The 60 games thing's a bit of a cop out because that didn't feel like 60 games. I feel like there's a lot of montages of like little indie games. It kind of felt like one of those old Game Boy cartridges where it says it's got 50 games, but it's like 40 different variations of Tetris.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like it just didn't feel like it had that wow factor, like the whole thing.
Nah.
And they announced that. I guess actually no, we'll get into that a little bit later when we talk more about Game Pass with their announcement. But then we had some Fallen Jedi gameplay again.
Which still looks average.
Yeah,
it does.
It looks kind of average.
Yeah, that was very disappointing, and KS has vanished. Alright, sorry for that. We just had a little bit of a tech error there. Yeah, so we'll jump back into what we were talking about. And yeah, so we moved, we had Fallen Jedi Order. I think that's what's called, isn't it?
Yeah, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Same thing. Something like that. What did we... I mean, we had the EA reveal yesterday.
And there's nothing new.
And now this. What do we all think?
It looks a little bit in danger. Like, it looks relatively easy.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to have those one-hit kills, but as long as you've got a lot of things to one-hit kill in the room at the same time.
Yeah. It doesn't look very engaging.
Like, the high bar for Star Wars games of this ilk is that one with Starkiller in it. What was that called again? The Force
Unleashed?
The Force Unleashed, which was brilliant. The first one, not the second one. And that tended to have like easy kills, but the rooms would just be filled with stormtroopers trying to kill you.
Yeah, kind of reminiscent of like a hack and slash.
Yeah, which is sort of what you want. So this one looks a bit like plodding, a bit ponderous. Do you think that a bit slow?
Your hype has gone up or down since the initial trailer?
Stagnated, I'd say.
Well, it is Respawn though, and they too haven't made a bad game, so I still have faith.
All right. After Fallen Order, Jedi Order, whatever the freaking hell it's called,
just say Fallen
Order. We got Outlast 3 in the form of the new Blair Witch game, which is coming from Kieran's favorite, KV's favorite dev team, Bloober team of Layers of Fear fame. This is probably one of the couple of announcements that got me pretty excited.
Yeah,
I'm a bit of a sucker for a first-person horror game, so I'm keen.
Took me by surprise. I wasn't really expecting a horror announcement, just because horror hasn't really been that much in the spotlight for a while. But it's nice to see, even if the game turned out to be average.
Hopefully it's not hide-and-seek stealth. I reckon just kill that genre completely.
Which it definitely will be, I reckon.
It.
It's coming on August 30, 2019. It looks like it's a Microsoft exclusive, so PC and Xbox One. Kieran, KV, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks cool. I like the setting. I like the... Yeah, it definitely does look like another one of those like Outlast-ish kind of just like run and hide stealth horror games, which Bloober does in bits and pieces in their other games as well, which is annoying. But we'll see. Layers of Fear 2 is a massive disappointment, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I think hide and seek in like small bits is okay, but when the whole game is about
Like-
it, it just becomes.
Yeah, exactly.
game. I think, well, yeah, like in that hide and seek stealth genre, I think there are some games that do it very well, like sort of Soma and Outlast, and there are some that
Yes.
don't quite do it.
Well,
so
there's
well.
that
Like
in
Layers
the
of Fear.
Aliens
Like
game. That was.
Alien
Alien, yeah.
Isolation.
Yeah.
Well, that was more the fact that it was
God.
long, wasn't it? It
Yeah,
sort
it
of
was like
dragged on.
Yeah.
14 hours long. It was like playing hide and seek for 14 hours. Like, not even my 2-year-old
like
could do
the
that.
first half of that game is like almost perfect. The second half is where you really start to see the flaws of the game.
It's like, what is going on? Just stop. Just end. It's like Godzilla last night.
And then, I guess, yeah, so after Blair Witch, Microsoft came out with its probably jewel in its conference, which was Cyberpunk 2077. We got a cinematic trailer first.
It was only cinematic trailer, wasn't it? Yeah.
Was it? I thought.
I think it was against the law to show gameplay at Xbox press conferences.
Well, I know there's a behind closed doors
Mm.
showing, so that's probably where there's more gameplay. I thought the Keanu Reeves part was gameplay, but it
Is that
must
where
have been.
WellPlayed's going later?
I was too.
Behind the closed doors to have a look? Or?
We're definitely going behind closed doors.
Look, no,
Um,
you've missed some of the podcast. We've established that we're only behind closed doors because we're all in tiny windowless rooms.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
because I'm a
Get the scoop.
bloody slave driver.
But how good's Keanu Reeves? though?
Yeah. So, what do you think of the new trailer?
I think the new John Wick looks cool.
Kieran, you KV. Sorry, I keep saying KV. You slapped down big 400 schmackos
did.
on the
Oh, you
collector's
actually
edition
bought that?
already.
Yeah.
What's in
know.
it? Was it already
You don't
announced?
even know.
You don't know.
No, there's
Oh,
like
really?
there's like
So-
a statue and a book, and it looks pretty similar to the Witcher 3 one, which was awesome. So
Didn't it have
Yeah.
the dodgy painted statue in it, though?
but mine is alright.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it hand
I
painted?
think the quality was inconsistent.
Well,
I
that's,
haven't opened it. I don't know.
well, that's an artisanal quality that you look for, isn't it? Handcrafted.
Yeah. So they showed off the cinematic trailer, and then they hit us with the man himself. Big Keanu Reeves came out
Yeah.
on stage, and that was
Yeah, thanks
That
for
was
that
very
spoiler
nice.
alert on the Facebook page as well, Zach.
That was me.
One of the,
No
I didn't
worries.
post it.
You're welcome.
oh, that was you. He's like, hey, some people haven't seen this yet. Spoiler alert.
Fuck him.
If you're listening, whoever that was, we love you. Yeah, so Keanu was breathtaking, as one guy in the crowd pointed out, and then everybody was breathtaking. But do you think was the game? Does it look breathtaking?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
absolutely.
Are we
Yes,
calling
move
it
on.
early GOTY 2020?
Could be. Probably will be.
Yeah, probably.
If you had to, if you had to say now, loaded question: is it going to be better than The Witcher 3?
Probably, yeah.
If CD Projekt Red's development is anything to go about, probably, because they'll make maybe decent gameplay for once.
I feel like that was a loaded statement there.
Wow.
I love The Witcher 3, but my god, does the gameplay suck?
Yeah, you're not wrong. The third person action isn't actually
yeah, I
like
fe-
brilliant, but
I feel like first person might be their wheelhouse. We'll see.
Yeah.
there's guns and such, which
Yeah.
there wasn't in The Witcher 3. I mean, there was magic, which is sort of like
I mean, there were guns
Guns.
with mods. As there was
Oh.
towards the tank engine.
yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, Keanu came out and he gave us a release date, which is April 16th, 2020.
How much do you reckon he gets paid
Um,
just to come out and give the release date and call people
He
breathtaking?
probably gets paid all the money that CD Projekt Red doesn't give its workers.
Wow.
But he also
probably-
has to
he probably
crunch for
donates.
100 hours.
He probably donates it back to them.
Yeah, probably.
He's a good boy.
Keanu would be the
I-
one to do that.
Or like
I did like
rescue
how he
a few puppies or something.
how he goes, I've got to finish this thing, like get me off stage kind of thing.
My time's up. I only get paid for.
They've got
5 minutes.
another cinematic trailer to show.
Then we had Spiritfarer, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Spiritfarer.
Based on cases.
Is it the building the boat
I
one?
don't remember
Is that
that.
the boat one?
Was that good?
Yeah, it's one of the...
Yes. Yes, it was the boat one. Correct.
I kind of missed that because I was furiously typing up spoilers for the Cyberpunk reveal.
Yeah, this one actually, because I didn't get to watch it live because I stayed up too late playing Metro. I caught up on it and I actually like the look of this one. This looks pretty good.
Is it like it's like a boat building thingy?
Almost kind of like that, yeah. I got some Terraria vibes from it with the whole base building and everything. But it looks like
chill.
it focuses a little more on the. It'll almost be like Stardew meets Terraria.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's just terrible pacing though in the Microsoft conference.
Yeah, it's a weird moment for it.
Because it's what they do is they take these huge games and then they just put them like amongst a bunch of smaller games that are probably cool in their own right. But in terms of a big press conference, you've just got people who are sort of falling asleep, especially here in Australia where it was 6 a.m.
You'd think they would like pace all of it to be like a crescendo. Where
Exactly.
They do all the indie stuff first and then slowly get to bigger and bigger titles.
Exactly. But that just doesn't happen with them. Like, what did they ended on the new console. That's right, isn't it?
But what we need to talk about is Phil Spencer didn't wear a really cool shirt this time.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Mm.
But there was a guy called Matt Booty, though, so maybe.
So the next game that they showed off was the new Battletoads, which we hadn't seen before. It was only like a little teaser trailer last year. This is a game that I was pretty excited to see. Not sure how I feel about it now. What do you guys think?
It looks okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks okay.
I didn't like it.
The art style's weird. I wasn't expecting that.
Very weird.
I understand what they're going for, but like the execution, I don't think is there.
Yeah, I didn't like how the toads were different colors, and it looked kind of childish almost.
That one toad with the tongue lagging back and forth, that animation is terrible. No one should have animated that. It's no good.
But what I am keen for is the 3-player couch co-op. That's pretty cool. Even though I only own one Xbox controller, but
And you need
That'll-
2 other friends to play it with.
there's also that.
Feels like-
Did they say it was online, or did they just say it was couch? I think it only said couch co-op in the in the trailer.
Maybe the cloud
maybe.
couch.
And then we got the Legend of Wright, which I don't really know what it was.
That one
Oh yeah, that made no sense, right?
It looked like a KV game, but I can't confirm.
Yeah,
It looked.
it looks pretentious, so I'll play it.
Yeah. What was it about? Because I don't remember. Sorry.
Me either.
Do you remember? All right. Then they got into some of the more boring sort of stuff with the Game Pass for PC. They announced Game Pass Ultimate, as well as they touched on Game Pass for PC a little bit more. They also announced that Metro Exodus, Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, Hollow Knight, and a Batman game was coming to Game Pass as of today. The Ultimate is going to combine Game Pass, Xbox Live, and I can't remember what the other
EA
was. Or was that
Access.
it? Really?
Yeah, that's what it has here on Kieran's note, on KS's notes.
Oh.
Fuck, you got me doing it. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, cool. And that, I don't remember the price of that, but yeah. They also revealed that, or announced, sorry, that Master Chief Collection for PC is available today in beta.
Yes. I need to figure out how to access that, but yes. I'm so keen.
Which I know that you're keen for, Jordan. Not so much
Anyone else?
anyone else. Yeah, so then they talked about Game Pass. They then showed off or announced Flight Simulator, which looks cool, but not a game that any of us are excited for, unless Kieran wants to be a pilot.
Nah, not really.
All right.
It looks
Thank you
cool.
for
It looks pretty. Like
Yeah, it does.
they're using what did they say they were using to generate like the world map and stuff? It was like satellite data and the Azure servers. So that's pretty cool.
Don't know. Sorry, I kind of tuned out during that. KS has sort of dropped off the map again, so we'll just keep going, and he'll hopefully join back in. Where are we up to Flight Simulator? So after that, they announced Age of Empires 2 remaster, which looks kind of cool, but is not Age of Empires 4, which Azza was probably hoping for. So
Alright, here's the weird thing. So I didn't actually look at Age of Empires 2 properly, but if they're still doing the 2D sprite approach,
That
remaster is going to take a lot of work.
models.
Yeah, because every time they bump the resolution with 2D sprites like that, they have to like reanimate everything and redo all the textures and everything. So I think at this point, the mills will just go 3D. It saves so much time, probably money.
I reckon Age of Empires 2 is a pretty good game. I might check it out, but
I know a lot of people will be into
probably
it.
not. Yeah, it'll definitely pull a crowd.
Oh, for sure.
We then got another similar sort of announcement with I can't remember the name of the developer. They announced Wasteland 3.
Yeah.
Or an XCOM style Wasteland 3. I don't remember the exact announcement, which is poor form by me.
Just more Wasteland, pretty much. The trailer was interesting, but like again, it's just like so much cinematic stuff.
Yeah, was Wasteland 3 already announced, or was it just Wasteland 2?
I feel like it could have been announced before, or at least rumored. But
I feel like it was unofficially announced.
yeah, either way, like it just looks like Wasteland's good, but just more of that.
Then we got Matt Booty, which I don't even remember what he was there for.
Matt Booty's the head of Xbox Studios or Microsoft Game Studios, whatever it's called.
Okay, yes, and then that Booty gave us the Double Fine announcement, which broke Kieran's heart just a touch,
just a little bit, only a little bit.
So yeah, they announced that Double Fine, the studio behind Psychonauts, and I'm not sure what else they've done.
Legends, Grim Fandango. I'm not going to list them.
Costume Quest, one of my faves.
They'll be joining the Xbox Game Studios family, and then Tim Schafer came out on stage and
promised to do their Excel spreadsheets.
He was actually legitimately funny, I thought.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, like when he offered to make the new Halo, and I'm sure Jordan would have liked that because you hate 343i with everything you've got, don't you?
No, I don't hate 343i. I just hate Halo 5.
Oh, well, the game that they made.
We then saw a new trailer.
Yeah, gameplay trailer.
And KV, what do you think? Because this is your baby girl.
Yeah, my jorts were very tight during that. Looks beautiful. Keen.
I never played the original. Is Psychonauts 2 identical in terms of like gameplay style, or is it different? Or?
It looks similar, but obviously like a lot more modern. Because the first one was PS2, Xbox gen.
Yeah, right.
So it's come a fair way since then. But yeah, Double Fine as part of the Xbox team. I might have to switch teams next gen.
Because you've got a Double Fine tattoo. Maybe get an Xbox tattoo next to it.
Yeah, nah.
No?
Nah.
Oh, we'll see.
All right, we'll fly through some of these next announcements. They showed off Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which is coming in 2020. I know there's a couple of Lego fans in the team. I think the other Zach, was pretty excited for that.
The gameplay for that looks more engaging than Fallen Order so far.
But it does better graphics too.
And then there's, according to KS's notes, there's Dragon Ball Z.
Look, it was early here and didn't have much sleep.
I think it's actually like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I think that's the name of it.
Is it Dragon Ball Z Carrot Top?
Carrot Top. I think it's supposed to be Kakarot, like Goku Kakarot, but we'll call it Carrot Top.
Cool.
Don't know, but I probably couldn't care less about
who would win out of a fight between Phil Spencer and Goku.
It depends on what shirt he's wearing.
No shirt.
He's shirtless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Nobody wears shirts in Dragon Ball Z.
That's it. Annapurna, the publisher behind What Remains of Edith Finch, they showed off their new interactive game.
And it's going to be awesome.
It's called 12 Minutes.
An interactive game?
Yeah,
Oh no! What did they say? It was an interactive
thriller.
Yeah, interactive thriller. Sorry, interactive game.
You've probably been
Um,
playing too much of the Order, where it's not really interactive.
Mate,
That was a sick burn.
That was a good band.
Thank you.
don't you? How dare you? I'm even wearing. You know what makes that burn even hurt
You
more?
wearing-
I'm wearing my Order T-shirt.
That's probably
we
why
then-
he gave you the burn.
That's it. I was inspired.
True. We then got Away to the Woods, which I have no idea what that even is. I don't remember
It's
seeing
about
that.
a deer with magical
It's
antlers.
like Deer Journey
Oh, right, that one.
Yeah,
Yes,
Dear Journey.
Yes, okay.
with a
I'm
giant
into it.
cat. That was
Yeah.
that was
Yes.
Jordan's words. You guys weren't here for that, but
Yeah,
That's what it looks
giant
like.
cat that has me sold.
Oh, you love cats.
Which looks exactly like a KV game to the max. Then one of the bigger announcements, or which I thought was going to be a big announcement, was Gears 5, but that was sort of very lackluster. It didn't really have any punch to it, and there was a short sort of cinematic trailer, and then Old Mate came out and showed off, and gave the game's release date, which is September 10th. There's also a new 3-player mode called Escape. God, this typing is terrible.
is
on this
3-player
document.
the new single player?
Sorry?
I said is 3-player the new single player? It seems like everything's
Yeah, it's odd, right?
Yeah.
Player 4.
Maybe that's all the new Xbox. The next Xbox will fit just 3 players.
Maybe it'll have 3 controller ports. Calling it now.
the Xbox 3.
But why would it need ports? Aren't they all wireless?
They're going back.
No, the future is wired.
They don't know. They don't know how to implement batteries, so they're just gonna go. We're gonna go wired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what did you... I know the KS, you're a big fan of Gears. What did you think of
I
that?
am, but geez, they could have shown like a little bit of gameplay. There's actually a
Yeah.
live stream kicking off in half an hour, so I guess there's that.
I've been pretty keen for Gears 5, and I was really disappointed with that.
Yeah, well, that's their next big, blockbuster first-party game, and it
It was poorly treated, I thought.
it just had no hype behind it whatsoever.
And what the hell were those bloody wrestlers in the basement doing? They were about to play the game or something? Were they wrestlers? WWE stars? That's what I heard.
Don't know.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was very odd.
We then got they announced a new Elite controller, which I know that a few of you are pretty keen for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got the
Yes.
thumbstick tension controller.
Okay, what I want to know is, will I be able to get one where the fucking grips at the back don't come out after 2 months?
Mate, no way.
No.
No, I think they announced that that's still happening.
Yeah, it's
Well,
actually
look,
a feature now.
at least they're being consistent. All right.
I'm just glad Microsoft have figured out internal controller batteries finally.
It's
Oh,
taken
yeah,
a
that
while.
was... I think...
40
Finally
hours
for that.
too. It's good.
Do any of you own the Elite one?
Yeah.
I have 2.
Yep. Do you?
Yeah, because my first one, all the rips came out, and I was like, I can't use it anymore. So then when I was in Melbourne, I was like to KV, I was like, hey, can you hook me up? And he hooked me up because he's a cool dude.
Nice.
He is a cool dude.
So, Kieran, can you tell me on the Elite controller, is there like a thumbstick tensioning control for this one?
For
I don't know.
Because that's
Is it?
big for me, right? Because in Call of Duty,
for the current one, there isn't, but for the new one, there is.
that's what I'm
there
saying.
is.
Like, that's a
Oh,
new
yeah.
feature?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a new feature.
Because that would make me buy it. Because that's seriously all I'm looking for in a customizable controller. Because it's
Mate,
really
if you're
overactive.
gonna play Call of Duty, do mouse and keyboard, especially with Modern Warfare being crossplay.
oh yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Question. Was anybody surprised that there was no Modern Warfare shown off during Microsoft?
Nah.
Isn't that
It's
Sony's
usually a
baby now?
Sony bag.
Yeah,
Well,
but they're not
recent.
there, so I thought...
Yeah, see, I was half expecting a lot of Sony's sloppy seconds to be at this
Yeah, they
presser,
got none.
but no.
Like Capcom.
When's PSX?
Don't know. Well, there's new State of Play, State of Days, State of Play
Yeah,
apparently
okay, yeah.
coming soon.
It wouldn't surprise me to see that in the state of play then.
All right, we'll move on. What are the other games that we spoke about during our predictions conversation that we thought we'd see at Xbox did show up, and that was Dying Light 2. Again, a little bit underwhelming. Trailer didn't blow me away.
I'm starting to get a consistent tone here where most things were underwhelming.
Yeah,
Seems like it.
it was. What did you guys think?
Eh.
Of Dying Light 2?
Yes.
Yeah, it's bloody brilliant. It's going to be brilliant, sorry.
It'll be good.
The trailer didn't sell it very well.
No.
It looks good. I think the part about Dying Light 2 that I'm most keen for is the writer. Because, like, most of, like, the really good stories in games have been written by this dude that's writing Dying Light 2 story.
Yeah, right.
It's cool.
Yeah, well,
Cool.
Dying Light 1 didn't exactly have, like, it wasn't Shakespearean, was it? But the actual gameplay was stellar. As long as you take
Yeah.
out
It was
all
no-
the FPS, take it all out.
It was no Neon Demon.
Oh,
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's getting a release date of autumn 2020. You've got here spring again. How do you know your country?
I'm actually going to the US in 2 weeks, so there you go.
He's just future-proofing.
I'm converting.
All right. We then got Cars on Stage, but it was made out of Lego with the Forza Horizon
Yeah.
4 Lego mod
I need
launching this
to
week.
go buy
which looks
Forza
pretty cool.
Horizon 4.
Dude. Oh,
That
man,
looks
it
so
looks
fun.
so good.
We then got Gears Pop
Oh.
News, which I don't remember.
No,
sort
that
of
might be
in one
cool.
ear,
That might be cool,
out,
right?
out the other.
I've
Maybe I don't really remember. I know that Jordan was kind of keen for that. What do you think?
What's it? What are you on about?
I thought you said last week you were.
No, I said I'll be keen to hear it's cancelled.
Oh right, okay. Well, sorry.
Bad news.
Yeah, State of Decay 2 DLC Heartland was announced. I don't know if anybody really sort of cares about that. The game was actually all right, but I think it's sort of gonna get lost amongst
I feel like a
everything
DLC
else.
announcement for State of Decay 2 probably wasn't appropriate for the Xbox E3. Like, with everything else I got going on.
Yeah,
It went for too long.
Fantasy Star Online 2, again autumn 2020.
But did you say that was the
Anyone
US
else have a
exclusive? or
Fantasy
something?
Star game here? I mean,
I've
Star
always
game
wanted to give
fan.
it a go, but it never got translated to or localized.
Just
to
learn
English.
Japanese, mate.
But from what I've been reading, it's looking like it'll be exclusive to the US, which kind of bums me out.
I'm going there in
Fingers
2 weeks. I'll let you know.
crossed It makes its way over here. It looks cool. I'll
Yeah.
give it a go.
We then got a overly long announcement trailer, whatever, about Smilegate's Crossfire X, and I just don't care at all. Does anybody care?
They made out like that was a huge thing, and I feel like
Yeah.
I missed something there. Because I've never heard of it.
I'm not
No,
gonna
neither.
lie, it went for too long, so I just skipped through it.
Nice. Bandai then showed off Tales of Arise, which is coming in 2020.
That looks so good.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like they're having a lot less empty space, which is nice.
It looks like...
I thought,
Sorry.
there you go.
I was just going to say, it looks like the first actual current gen Tales game out of all the
Tell me
5 or
about
6 they've released this generation.
Yeah, definitely a game for you guys and not for me. We then got Borderlands 3. What'd you guys, anything new in that tickled your jorts? Nah,
I
Just
was
more.
surprised that Randy Pitchford wasn't on stage.
probably would have been booed off it, or Keanu would have come out and John Wicked him.
Oh
Who would-
man, see,
I would
I
pay to
would
see
have
that.
loved the Xbox press conference if that happened. If freaking Keanu Reeves came and booted Randy Pitchford off stage, it would just be gold.
We then got Jordan's little announcement with the Elden Rings game
Elden
from
Ring.
From Software.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, sorry. What did I say?
You said Elden Rings because KS has written Lord of the Elden Rings.
Oh, right. Okay. So what's it called? Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah.
Okay, Elden Ring from Software and George R. Martin or R. Martin.
How many?
Can't remember.
Two R's.
The guy from Game of Thrones or the rights Game of Thrones. Nothing was given. Just a cinematic trailer. Another cinematic trailer for. I was expecting something.
But but it's from Software, so I'm still confident that it'll be the killer game.
Yeah, but they just all these big games and they were all sort of cinematic.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
all the Xbox Scarlet can do.
All right, and then they closed off with the Xbox Scarlet. Anyone have any initial thoughts on that?
They had me at 120 FPS. There's never been frame rates that high.
Well, I know that Kieran here, KS has written RTX, which is completely wrong. It is not using RTX.
It's using
They,
hardware-based ray tracing, though, right? Or it's
but
offering it.
RTX and hardware-based ray tracing are two very
Oh
different
yeah.
things.
But ray
Um,
tracing definitely is a thing.
But yeah, it's good to see that for once a console will be up to date in terms of technology. It supports up to 120 FPS, which is a big shocker. Whether games will actually run that quickly, I don't think it'll be a common thing.
Well, if the resolution's like 280p or whatever.
Yeah, if the dynamic resolution kicks in, you're good.
They said it supports 8K resolution.
Yeah, it's sounding a lot like the PS5 pretty much. Like they're using all the same kind of messaging about load times and resolution and stuff. So
But whoever wrote the script for that promotional video for it is, I don't know what they bragged about page filing, which, for you guys that don't know, page filing is basically when RAM needs to access something fairly infrequently. It puts it in what's called it basically uses the storage on your hard drive or your SSD as RAM. And that's been a very common thing for a very long time. So I don't know why they were bragging about that. That's not something to brag about.
Yeah, but load screens.
The SSD is nice.
Elevators, masking load screens. I think that whoever wrote the script just hated load screens and elevators, essentially. And they went from there. And
it's going to be, Phil
outwards.
Spencer said it's going to be 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X.
I'd believe it. Zen 2 and Navi are both looking really good, so it wouldn't surprise me if that would be fairly accurate.
Well, I want to ask probably KS here, because KV has had to jump out. But having recently bought a Xbox One X, probably paid full price for it too. How do you feel knowing that you've within a year or a year and a half, it's going to be outdated?
Well, I sort of, when I bought it, I knew it was going to happen, but I had to update. I had a launch Xbox and it was really showing its age. And I'm really glad I updated when I did. If there's a good trade-in, then perhaps I'll do that. But as long as I get a good price for it, I'm not too disappointed, because I sort of knew when I was buying very late into the upgrade sort of portion of the console cycle. So, should be right. Just more money. I got plenty of it anyway.
So they didn't give a name. They just sort of kept it by its code name. Xbox Scarlet. They didn't give a specific release date, but they did say holiday 2020. So I guess
they did also say that Halo Infinite will be a launch title.
Yes, yeah.
That's interesting.
And there was that gameplay trailer that they showed of Halo.
Oh yeah.
Was the question thrown in the chat? I think that is it a next gen only game? I don't think it is it? I think Microsoft are pretty.
I'm pretty sure Microsoft are set on not having next generation exclusives.
Yeah, it'll be.
I think they're focused on Xbox being a platform as a whole rather than the console being a platform.
Mm. But yeah, we got another cinematic trailer just to close it off, and I thought they would have shown, this is Halo Infinite running on Xbox Scarlet, to sort of.
Well, the thing is, they announced like a few days ago that Halo Infinite that we saw just then would have been on PC.
Oh, really?
Yes, they did announce that.
But why wouldn't they? I mean, this is like, why wouldn't they show off something running on Scarlet?
Yeah.
Even like, a minute demo or, and have that no loading time, where they...
Probably because it's not all finalized yet. You got to understand that...
I don't understand.
Okay, well, I'm not going to explain.
No, please explain.
No, but because he's using newer technology, some of the kinks and inconsistencies of the technology might cause some issues for it to run on that platform, which is why they opted for PC instead.
Okay, but wouldn't you have thought, if you're going to announce your new console to the world with a, probably easily the most identifiable Xbox franchise, wouldn't you want to show it off to some degree, given that you've
but
essentially shown nothing off previously?
It wouldn't surprise me if there's only one prototype in existence. Because it is still fairly early days, especially seeing as the technology they're using isn't even out yet.
Isn't it coming out next year?
Yeah, it's coming out next year.
Spring?
They did pretty much the same thing with the One X, though. They codenamed it Project Scorpio, and then at one E3, and then didn't actually fully show it off until the next E3 before it launched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I just felt that with the lack of excitement or wow factor that we sort of saw, I thought that would have been a good end. It just sort of ended just I
Yeah.
don't know, it didn't end with any real punch.
Pizzazz.
Yeah,
There was more hype actually around the Scorpio for me. Like, I think when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice. But then with this Xbox Scarlet or the Xbox 3 or whatever it's going to be, it didn't grab me by the ghoulies, but oh well.
and there was
I'm
no
going to buy an 8K TV now. Is that what?
there was no I mean, I didn't fully expect, but I sort of thought they might mention the other project, Anaconda, but there was nothing on that, so who knows what's going on with that. But overall, I was disappointed with the lack of third party reveals, like sort of what Kieran said, KV said with the Sony's sloppy seconds. I thought Capcom or just somebody else might have shown off something sort of new.
Yeah, I was expecting Monster Hunter to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dino Crisis. Where were you? Dino Crisis.
Horrible.
There was just sort of like we didn't really get anything exciting that was new, because the Lord of the Elden Rings was, that had leaked beforehand, so that everything we sort of knew was the exciting parts.
Mm.
And the Gears of War Tactics game didn't get shown either, which I think is crazy.
Sorry about that. We cannot be winners.
But surely, why didn't they show that? That's just nuts.
Because
Maybe
they
it'd be
had
at
to
the
make
PC
way
show.
for Gears Pop.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gears Pop. But no, I didn't actually get my thoughts in about Gears Pop before, but I've actually played a mobile game called Ticket to Earth, and it's awesome. It's from an Australian developer. So sometimes mobile games can actually be decent, as long as they're not like microtransaction minefields, then
But it's pop.
that's fine.
So it will
because
be.
Yeah.
Do you know where the devs of
Oh, yeah.
Ticket to Earth are based?
Melbourne, aren't they? The Bit Circus, is it?
Yeah, but do you know where in Melbourne?
Chad Vegas?
Carlton. Go Blues.
Go
Oh,
Blues.
God.
You won
I
your
just
first
wanted to
game.
Drop that
ever.
in.
There's always got to be a football reference in one of these.
Second game for the year,
podcasts.
mate. How good was it too?
Important.
All right, we might wrap it up there. Bethesda's coming up very soon, so we'll continue our discussion then.
Cool.
Bye.
Should I do an intro? I mean an
Microsoft.
outro? No.
Yeah, do an
6 out of 10.
intro now.
Welcome back to the WellPlayed DLC podcast, this special edition for E3. We've covered Microsoft this morning. We're now going to take a look at Bethesda's conference. I'm here with Kieran V, and Jordan. Kieran S has departed, so
He's no longer with us.
push F. I'm sure he'll show up again in another episode. Boys, what do you think of Bethesda?
I liked the way that they got away with copy pasting last year's conference and making it seem new with those couple of new announcements that they actually had.
So it's the Call of Duty of E3 conferences.
Yeah, pretty much.
The one thing that I really disliked was the overzealous wooing and
Oh my god, that
and
dude.
Oh,
I mean, if Keanu Reeves isn't going to pull that much woo and but Fallout 76 can, I reckon there's something going on there.
Lucy O'Brien tweeted that she was disappointed that Shinji Mikami got less crowd cheer than the announcement that human NPCs were coming back to Fallout.
Yeah.
Which is pretty, yeah.
It was weird. Like every 30 seconds they stopped and just wooed, and it was fucking bullshit. There was a point where I was like, I can't keep watching this. This is getting just too.
it was
This is just too
pretty.
much.
It was pretty frustrating to watch and listen to. It's just, I mean, if you're gonna get excited for something
Good.
Oh yeah, NPCs in Fallout. Oh yay, Battle Royale in Fallout.
Yay,
Whoop-de-doo.
Fallout.
Yeah.
So yeah, we saw Pete Hines kicked it off as he usually does with his I can't think of the right word. Not superfluous. That's not the right word I'm thinking of. But what is he like? Vice President, President of VP Marketing, or something, some crazy title that he's got.
I would say that's superfluous.
Yeah, it's like a really long, excessive title. Instead of just being Vice President of Marketing, he's like Chief Boss.
It almost just seems like they're taking the
Skyrim
piss with
HD
that.
remastered.
Yeah. So he kicked things off with his normal corporate speak, and I mean the message that they've always had, and it sort of gets a bit tiring after a while, is how much that they sort of throw back onto the community. You know, this is all you guys. You know, this is all you guys are. You know, you've made the games what they are. It's like, mate, every year
They're
we hear
blaming
the same-
us for Fallout 76.
the same spin. You know, well, they're like half the developers of the game, the community. In fact, probably even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we saw Toddy come out, old Toddy Howard, and we got the
Can
the
I
Fallout
just say?
spin.
Can I just
You
say
can.
he has the worst hair possible.
He just hasn't had a haircut ever.
I think it's the same people that model their hair for Skyrim that do his hair.
God, it's just it's dreadful.
But again, it was just. I mean, at least they acknowledged that they stuffed up. But they probably.
Are you
Had to?
making a dig at Anthem?
Well, no, it wasn't really. But yes, I mean they should follow Todd and have more bugs. But for Fallout 76, what do we get? We got there's a new massive new update coming, which is bringing back NPCs.
Basically adding back everything that they said was Fallout 76 was going to be good without.
Yeah,
Kind of
basically
backtracking on everything they said with that, which falls
Surprise,
in line
surprise.
with them apologizing for the whole thing.
And they're I guess the biggest thing is they've got a 52-player battle royale game mode, called Nuclear Winter.
Cool.
Nuclear, not nuclear.
Oh yeah, sorry. I can never say that word, so get used to it. What were we saying? Yeah, which looks crap.
Yep.
Sorry.
It looks like Battle Royale.
I mean, you
That's-
can only polish if you polish a turd, it's still a turd.
That is correct. But he did mention that they were still working on Starfield apparently, and Elder Scrolls 6. So fans.
When
will have
did
to
From
wait.
Software announce the collaboration with
Yeah.
Bethesda?
They announced it at the Microsoft thing, Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I mean, neither of those two games interest me anyway because I don't really know anything about Starfield, and Elder Scrolls has never been my jam. But I mean, that's probably what everyone wanted from the Bethesda studio, and they got more Fallout 76. So, yeah.
Yay.
They then talked about the Elder Scrolls series itself. They started with... Which one did they start with?
They
The
started with
online...
Blades.
Oh,
Oh, no,
did they?
was it ESO? Which one was first?
Yeah, I think it was
No,
the online one. I think it was ESO, but anyway, doesn't
Either
really
way,
matter.
doesn't matter.
But there's a whole bunch of them. There was more... They talked about Elder Scrolls Online. I can't really remember in what capacity.
They were talking about... So they just released the Elsewhere DLC like last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they unveiled either a new update or DLC called Dragon's Keep or something like that. Or
Dragonhold?
Dragonhold,
Or is
that might be it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it was just a really flashy cinematic trailer that showed characters that I've never seen before and don't care
E3
about.
2019 cinematic trailers.
Yeah, I know,
Pretty much.
right? Man, if,
For games that are already out as well. Like
Yeah.
not even...
They also showed Elder Scrolls Blades, the mobile game.
Yeah,
and they announced it's coming to Switch.
Yeah.
and it'll have crossplay.
That's interesting.
and it's free to play on Switch as well. I'm sorry, Jordan, what'd you say?
And it'll have crossplay.
Oh, yes, crossplay, and the saves will transition and stuff. Does anyone play that? Do you guys play that?
No, I just downloaded. Well, the full release just came out today during the conference on mobile. I think it's been in beta for a little while. So they announced that there's new content and also that it's out. So I'll check it out later. But
yeah,
do you think that anyone's gonna play Elder Scrolls Blades on the Switch when there's already a full Elder Scrolls game on the Switch?
Which ones is it? Is Skyrim on the Switch?
Yeah. Like on mobile, it makes sense.
Probably because Bethesda fans buy anything made by Bethesda.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But I guess
it's the
how
people
many
that woo in the crowd. It's those people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like how many people have already played Skyrim? I mean, not that stops them, but for hours and hours and hours. And I guess this is a new sort of experience. Maybe.
Yeah.
Look, I reviewed that remaster twice, and I've never played Skyrim.
That really confused me. What?
Yeah, I reviewed the remaster twice.
Oh right, sorry. Okay.
I've played.
I totally misunderstood what you said. I thought you reviewed the game twice, but you didn't actually play it. And I was like, okay, goodbye. They also talked about Elder Scrolls Legends, which is the card game, which had that McAfee hybrid ad cinematic trailer thing, which looked.
My immersion in that ad was completely broken when they didn't change that 17-year-old boy's clothes to fit in that new scenario he was in. He was just in his regular shirt inside a tavern full of all these appropriately dressed people. Completely.
Because he's a real person like you and me.
Yeah.
Playing Elder
just
Scrolls
an everyday
Legends.
gamer.
Hashtag gamer struggles.
I mean, I'm not a fan of video game card games, if that makes sense. So yeah, this just went nah. I sort of tuned off when this came on, and the start of it I thought it was a McAfee ad. So
it's just for anyone listening, this isn't just going to be a podcast of us being like, we're not the right audience for this. It's shit.
We'll eventually get to the good part of the conference.
No, but I mean, have you played the card series?
No.
The Legends?
I haven't played Legends, but I've played the other card games. I played Hearthstone. I played Gwent for a while. Yeah. I love Gwent. I even have the physical cards to play with my mates. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's actually played Legends, so I don't know if it's people love it or not. But
Todd Howard has.
That, who?
Todd Howard.
Oh, but I know that the ones that you mentioned, Jordan and Kieran, they're quite popular. They then announced a Commander Keen game.
That was a nice little surprise.
Yeah.
The question is, do you not all have phones?
Yeah, so again, this is also another mobile game. And they sort of like Microsoft and their Crossfire thing, they spent a long time talking about this. And the more it sort of went on, the less I was tuned into it. But I mean, a lot of people were surprised and pleased to see it come back. Whether it takes off or not, I'm not too sure. What did you think?
I was on board, having played that, my childhood, played the old Commander Keen games. I was on board until they announced that it was a mobile game, which there's nothing wrong with that, and obviously it has its audience and stuff, but it just felt weird from going from something that was has its roots on the PC.
Yeah. But
so it'd be nah, just mobile.
I think the biggest issue really is the more and more they showed it, the more I could say, this is going to have egregious microtransactional design behind it.
Way to just take something that a lot of people feel nostalgic about and just tear it to pieces and then sell them.
Yeah,
who
are they? Activision?
Say helmet to helmet, Zach.
Yeah, isn't that? I knew you would like that. And then we got to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Shinji Mikami, who, if you don't know who he is, he's the creator of the Resident Evil series, and obviously The Evil Within from his studio Tango Gameworks. They announced a brand new game called Ghostwire Tokyo. which looks pretty cool. It sort of looks a little bit like Evil Within, but not Evil Within.
It looks pretty sick. I love like Japanese supernatural themes. It's just so much more terrifying than Western supernatural themes.
So if you can't gather by the name, it's based in Tokyo, and it's set in a world where people are disappearing, and monsters and other creatures have resurfaced. They brought out, I don't know if someone wants to have a go at this lady's name, because I can't remember it.
Are you talking about Ikumi Nakamura?
Yes, she's the girl that
Gold
so
star to you, Kieran.
Yeah, she came out, and it was very, what's the right word?
Adorable.
It was adorable. She was so genuine.
She was very excited to be there, and she had a couple of very, very now iconic lines.
Some very gifable moments
that Kieran has gifted up and treated the world with, which has gone viral as of now. Especially with her "It's Spooky" reference.
So good.
Which was lovely. But yeah, no, this game looks very cool, and I'm obviously, being a Resident Evil fan, a big fan of Shinji, and he did Dino Crisis too. So yes, I think. No, I'm pretty sure he did. But yeah, no, this was one of the, probably out of everything that we'd seen so far, including Microsoft, this was probably went straight to the top.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Most exciting.
Definitely the most intriguing cinematic trailer we've seen yet.
Yeah,
out of all the cinematic trailers, it's good.
That was a little bit disappointing. No gameplay, but that's what it is this year. It's the flavor of the year. They didn't give any release window information, did they? I don't think I saw that.
No platforms, no nothing.
Yeah, so it's probably still a little while off. So you would think it would be next gen.
It's going to release on mobile
and current gen.
It's just a Pokemon Go style game.
Yeah,
you just take photos of people and then they disappear.
Dark. We then heard from Arcane Leon, the developers behind Dishonored and Prey. They announced their new game, which we were all being me, I'm not sure if you guys were, hoping it would be another Dishonored game, but it turns out it's a new IP called Deathloop, which is a little bit confusing as what it actually is. But it's you play as one of two characters, man or woman. I can't remember I know the guy's name is Julian, and the girl's name I don't quite remember. And you're apparently your fierce rivals, and you find yourself trapped in a loop to basically kill one another and enemies. I don't really know what the game sort of is all about yet, but it looks cool though, and it's got that Dishonored art style, sort of. Yeah,
it looks like Looper the movie mixed with Spy vs Spy mixed with Dishonored.
Yeah, when I was when they were showing it, it kind of reminded me of one of those John Wick scenes when they have like those overly long fight scenes.
Where
where he's fighting after he kills. Never mind, I won't go there. Spoiler.
Mothra.
It was in the second film, but when he's in Rome. Anyway, it sort of just reminded me of that. It looks quite cool. It's apparently there's, as usual with Arcane, there's a multiple different avenues to complete or kill your opponent. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing more from that. Again, though, just all cinematic, no gameplay, no release information again. So probably still early stages. And as usual with Bethesda, we seem to get like a little teaser first, and then the following year we get sort of more gameplay, and then a release date.
Yeah,
which is quite close. So maybe it'll be a launch window game for the new consoles. Not too sure.
Yeah.
We then got a fair bit of Wolfenstein information. Well, sort of. They got 2 games in the works. They got Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is the spin-off, but full title with the daughters of BJ, and it's set during the 1980s in
Paris?
Yeah, Paris. That's it. I was going to say France, which was correct, but I was trying to think of the actual city. Yeah, which looks pretty cool. It's co-op, I believe.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you guys both liked Wolfenstein.
Love it. So good.
Yeah, so this will be pretty cool. Are you more excited or less excited because it's co-op?
More. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always
more,
down for a
sure.
fun co-op experience, even if it's with someone that I know is a terrible co-op partner, because when it comes to terrible co-op partners, it's very easy for them to be so bad that it makes the co-op experience even better because it's just stupid. And that's
Right,
kind
so
of what I'm hoping
me and you
for.
playing together?
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, no, I'm very keen. I was not really expecting Wolfenstein 3. I think we might have discussed that last week, but I thought they might have maybe teased something. But yeah, with these two games coming out, it makes sense that they wouldn't push the third entry or the mainline entry. But it was interesting to find out that Arcane are also working with Machine Games.
Yeah, you could really see
Youngblood.
in that gameplay trailer, you could really see that Arcane was with them because the level design was just so much more interwoven and there was so much more verticality to it that, Machine Games, well, as awesome as the previous Wolfenstein games have been, they've just been a little too linear. Whereas, Arcane, their level design is just incredibly deep and well thought out, and it'll be nice to see how it flows in a Wolfenstein game.
Yeah, I'll say one thing about Bethesda is it's good to see a lot of their studios pulling influence from the other studios.
Yeah, for sure.
You got flavors of Doom and Rage, and you've got obviously elements of Arcane helping out with Wolfenstein now, and Wolfenstein obviously already has a lot of influence from Doom and other id games as well, so it's kind of all pulling together, which is cool. It's good to see. Hopefully Elder Scrolls 6 plays like Doom.
Dude, that would be freaking great.
And the other game that they've got in the works is Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, which is the VR game. Sorry, I should mention that Youngblood is coming out on July 26th.
Hell,
close.
Yes.
PC, Xbox, and PS4.
It's coming out later for
yeah,
Switch,
and
isn't it?
Cyberpilot is the VR, PSVR, and is it just PSVR or is it Oculus as well? That's a good question, actually. I should have researched that.
I know Kung Fu, yes.
But yeah, no, that is coming out also quite soon, which I don't remember the date for that either. So very good journalism by me. But what do we think of the of Cyberpilot?
Firstly, Cyberpilot is on Steam and it's coming out the same day.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. I'm not too sure what to think about it. I have no real, foot in the whole VR thing, just because VR is just not my thing. I got nothing against it. It's just not for me. But, I mean, for the most part, it looks pretty cool. From what I could gather, it's very, mech focused almost. Something weird. It's just Wolfenstein being VR, and Wolfenstein owns. As they said, you can kill Nazis in VR, so what's wrong? What's wrong with that?
Well, Kieran,
I
you
don't mind
got
a
the
bit of
VR,
VR
so
mech combat. Yeah,
you'll check
you
it
can
out.
play it. Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Sweet. I wish there's always the odd couple of games that come out that I wish I hadn't sold my VR, and this is probably one of them. But oh well, I will. It'll just go into the backlog anyway.
Will Troll and I VR convince you to get your PSVR again?
I would instantly play that.
You'd buy the special edition VR that the Troll and I
Correct.
edition VR. Yeah.
I'd get a special skin made. So when I put the VR headset on, it's got the troll face, over the black bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should design that. You
And
become
then at
rich.
the end, it just blows up so that you don't have to. Just ends.
It'll blow up just like the game's popularity.
Exactly. Then we saw Rage 2 DLC, which
Rage 2 is over.
Nice
Nobody
raspberry
cares.
there, Kieran.
Which it was funny because KS reviewed that game and he quite liked the combat, and he was saying that the trailers for the game are better than the actual game. You know, like, yeah, because like the start of that trailer today was actually quite cool, and it looks fun. It looks fine, but it doesn't look overly enticing. Like, it doesn't make me want to put Rage 2 to the top of my backlog and play it whenever I'm free. So, but what did you guys think?
Yeah, it's like I've finished Rage, traded it in. I'm done with that game. I don't think I've got any reason to go back to it.
It's definitely a thing.
Oh, what?
It's definitely a thing.
Oh, yes.
That's it. I mean, Rage 2 kind of... I know the promotional material goes to critical acclaim, but it seems like virtually every game gets critical acclaim nowadays anyway.
Did Rage 2 get critical acclaim, though?
Oh, that's what
Sure,
the
somebody
marketing would have you
critically
believe.
acclaimed it.
Oh, right. I thought it meant like, on average, it was critically acclaimed. Yes, but the announcement was that there's a new update and expansion coming called Rise of the Ghosts, which will give new vehicles, enemies, apparently new cheats and new skins. It's all free, I believe.
It
Did
also
I hear
adds
that
a
correctly?
new area and a small campaign.
Yeah, is it free or did I make that up?
I see
I
nothing
don't remember.
about it.
Am I
being
writing checks that Bethesda can't
free.
cash? Or
I mean, I wouldn't pay for it.
Let's assume that it's a retail product.
Yeah, I actually don't know because I know that he said that the other stuff is free, like all the Elder Scrolls and.
I'm pretty sure that Rage has a season pass or some bullshit.
Oh,
so-
does it? Okay.
Or maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
After that, we sort of got into a bit more servicey sort of stuff with Orion. Orion, sorry. I obviously can't talk. Nuclear and Orion, whatever I just said. I didn't really listen to this. I sort of left the room and did something else. Did you guys see this at all?
See, I was disappointed because I thought this was them announcing that they're like using a functional engine for once.
Like a new engine for Elder Scrolls?
Yeah, Creation 2.0. But from what I could tell, it's just another streaming platform thing, like maybe
It's
a
another
streaming backend.
Yeah, it looks more like a backend because they said that it's got integration with like Stadia.
so it'd be like an
xCloud and
API.
stuff. But then they also said that you can sign up for a beta and like they had it running live on stage. It's hard to tell what their deal is. Like,
Look, all we need to know is it just works.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah, well, the guy had Doom playing on his phone at 60 frames per second, apparently.
I mean, that's not really hard.
Is it though? Can the
Look.
can the Xbox One launch do that?
Yes.
Wow.
The only thing that
Thank-
can't do Doom at 60 frames is the Switch.
Well, I stand
but
corrected then.
the difference is not in 4K on a mobile phone, Jordan.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Jordan.
I forgot that 4K makes a big difference when compressed down to the screen size of like 3 inches.
You could tell from the 1080p stream I was watching of a camera on someone's phone out of focus that it was 4K.
Yeah. 8K even, using the Xbox Scarlet.
And then, speaking of Doom, we got to Doom Eternal. We got to the
The
to the
baby.
butter on the crumpet, so
Ah,
to speak.
this was the perfect way to leave off their crappy conference.
I think from memory, because I kind of don't really remember this, but I do remember it. They started with a cinematic trailer, and then it went to gameplay, or
They started with a heavily cut trailer of like little moments
Yeah.
of gameplay.
and then it went to, like, after a little bit, it went to actual gameplay, and it looks just as good as ever.
yeah, because they mentioned that it was playable at after the show at Bethesda, at A3, and over the weekend at their booth, and then they went and actually did the proper trailer, and then they announced that the The game is coming out this year, November 22nd. It'll be releasing on PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Google Stadia. Obviously, only 4 of those platforms will be available for us.
Rip.
But yeah, we all loved it, I assume.
Oh man, I am so keen.
Fantastic.
I love the art direction they're going. How they're like going, oh, we're gonna have like all these, high fantasy architectures, and then you're gonna be fighting demons that have like laser weapons and everything. Looks so good.
It looks messy in the best way.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks messy in a coordinated Doom way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they announced a collector's edition with a
helmet.
life-size helmet. And then it was funny seeing the Twitch chat when that got announced, and all the different materials that they were saying that the helmet will be made of.
Where's the bag?
Which is quite humorous. Are you going to buy the helmet, Jordan?
Oh, I'm tempted. I'm not gonna lie, but
Then we can go helmet to helmet.
Oh, I was about to say that, Joe.
I knew it.
Oh, that's what I was setting it up for.
Sorry.
That's
good joke, Kieran. I'm glad you thought of
You
it.
know how to
Thank you.
finish me
I
off.
thought of that myself. Wow. On the topic of pre-orders and stuff though, Jordan, are you familiar with the Doot meme with the skull and the trumpet horn?
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes.
Bethesda tweeted just recently that you can get a Doot Revenant skin with pre-orders.
Okay.
And it's literally
then
a
I
Revenant
gotta
with 2
pre-order.
like horns strapped to its back. It's great.
Are we having a surprise drop-in from KS?
Oh,
I'm not too sure.
No.
I just put it in. Now I lost. Yeah, cool.
What's
Yeah,
up?
so yeah, we got the release date. November's looking pretty. Yeah,
Pretty
pretty packed.
it's getting there.
What in Bethesda? I mean, what in Bethesda? What in November is your pick of the bunch so far? Death
Doom.
Stranding or Doom?
Doom.
I'm still on the Death Stranding wagon, but I hope that I can somehow manage to nut that one out before Doom comes out.
I'll honestly probably still be playing Pokemon, but I will drop Pokemon for Doom.
And Pokemon. Shit.
Yay, Pokemon.
Shut up.
You sound as enthused as you were for Fallout 76.
I love Fallout 76. What are you talking about? I bought the nylon bag. That's how excited I was.
Yeah,
and
apparently
that's where
they still haven't
and I keep
replaced
all my
those
Pokemon
things.
in that bag too.
Oh, dude.
There was something else I was going to talk about, but Kieran interrupting me. Not the Kieran in the podcast, but
Yes.
the Kieran who joined made me forget. Nah, it's gone. Can't remember. Yeah, so Doom is probably... Would you say Doom is your pick of the E3 so far?
Ooh, that's a tough one because I'm a big Halo fan, but I didn't actually get to see any Halo.
Oh, I can't be excited by that Halo footage. There was nothing. They gave you nothing.
Actually, as someone who's been following Halo, there's a lot there. There's Martin O'Donnell music. There's returning to a good art style, and there's it running at 60 frames, being in an in-engine cutscene. Those are 3 very big changes, but
Okay,
probably Doom.
But how's the gameplay look?
Look, so far it looks better than Halo 5's gameplay.
Rough. All right, do you guys want to talk about Devolver for a little bit?
Yeah, why not? They
Yeah.
had a
It won't
pretty
take
killer
long. There's not
conference.
much to really...
Yeah.
No.
There's only a few announcements, but the conference itself was whack. It was so good.
I love that they have a storyline that's more interesting than most game storylines.
Was last year's conference pre-recorded? I don't remember.
They were all
Or was it-
pre-recorded.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember
Yeah.
last year's one was sort of on an actual stage and stuff.
The previous 2 years have been on a quote-unquote actual stage, but
Yeah.
it's just been them recording Nina Struthers, the character.
Yeah.
And they just use stock footage for the audience.
They've basically been parodies of the press conferences.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then so this year they pulled out all the stops and they did a parody of a Nintendo Direct,
Yep.
which was amazing. And the storyline basically was that they'd plugged Nina Struthers in and were just beaming their announcements direct from her to audiences.
It was so good.
So it was dark and it was violent and it was
Yeah, I saw the
yeah.
wormy thing.
Yeah, the carry-on creature.
Yes, that's
And
it.
they-
Yes.
They just like nailed that Nintendo Direct aesthetic the whole way through too. So it was good. Good job on them.
Yeah, I think it only went for 2025, if that.
Yeah.
It's usually short.
But they announced. What did they announce? Because I caught some of it. I saw the carry-on thing. I didn't see before.
So
Carry
they
On
announced a
looks
few
cool.
things. We'll start with their biggest announcement, Devolver Bootleg.
Oh yes, I did see that.
So Devolver Bootleg is like a game package where it contains 8 original rip-offs of Devolver digital games. And so it'll include classics like, where's my list? It'll include classics like Enter the Gun Dungeon, Hotline Milwaukee, Ape
best
Out
one.
Jr., Shooty Boots, Luftrausers 3, Absolvers, Cat Game, which Kieran pointed out was briefly called Castlevania in the big montage, and Piku Niku Ball Stars. So you can get those brilliant original rip-offs for the price of $7.59 Australian on Steam right now, but until June 17th you can get a whopping 1% off, so it's $7.42.
Are they? So they're actual games.
The actual games.
They've made bootleg demakes of their own titles, and yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty funny.
I think my highlight of the whole Devolver thing was Fall Guys, which is the first thing they showed off. And
I
it basically
missed
looks
Fall
like
Guys.
Takeshi's Castle as a battle royale game.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
So, yeah, they didn't really show. It was mostly just like, I wouldn't say cinematic, but there wasn't much in terms of gameplay or anything. But it just looks insane, like Gang Beasts sort of esque hilarity. So I'm keen for that.
They showed.
then-
I know they showed a little bit of My Friend Pedro at the end,
Yeah, which looks awesome still.
which Adam is reviewing at the moment.
Fuck yeah,
It looks so good.
so keen
Yeah.
for that game.
Interestingly enough, though, they only showed a release date for Nintendo Switch and PC.
Well, that's all it's launching on at the moment.
Really?
I could
Yeah.
have sworn they were talking about
Nah.
it for Xbox and PS4.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not coming to that. I don't think.
Yeah,
Or at
good
least,
riddance.
not now. If you go to that to the game releases site, when you click on that game, it only comes up with Xbox. PC and Switch.
Oh, fuck that game then. I want my
Yeah.
trophies.
Doesn't could just get Steam achievements.
Yeah, dude.
It's gross.
Yeah, that game was cool.
Yeah.
Did they talk about anything else?
So they had this cool game called Carry On, which is it actually
Oh,
looked
yes.
pretty dope. The flow of that gameplay was freaking sick.
It's like The Thing mixed with like those old Hungry Shark games where you
Yeah.
eat people.
Yeah, and it was really cool, and the art was awesome. But once again, they actually showed gameplay, which was cool.
Which is nice. Yeah.
Then there was the Messenger Picnic Panic, which has a lot of Shovel Knight vibes. Shovel Knight vibes.
Everyone really like the Messenger came out of nowhere and it's got a lot of fans, so it's cool they're doing some big expansions for it.
Yeah. And that's releasing on July 11th. Carry On just has a 2020 release date. And then you have Enter the Gungeon, House of the Gundead, which is a light gun shooter. It's a 2-player arcade game that's releasing next year. And
It sounds like they're selling those to the public as well. They'll like expect it in arcades and in your homes. So
it's
I
really
think,
hard to tell with Devolver because I can never figure out
well, yeah.
if they're shit posting or not.
But like they tend to follow through their shit posts, as with Devolver Bootleg.
Yeah, this is true.
Did they actually end up releasing the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency? Remember last year they had a Devolver coin or whatever it was called?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
They probably did.
They probably did, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I vote that WellPlayed gets an arcade cabinet.
We'll
for our
put it in the dungeon where you guys all are chained.
Ah, okay. Yet they did sell the loot box coin via limited run for a little while.
amazing.
This is why I love Devolver Digital.
They definitely do it differently, and they do it well. I don't think. I think that's probably about all for Devolver. I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just to jump back on to some things we saw earlier, it's come out that Keanu Reeves' character in Cyberpunk is called. Is it Johnny Silverhands or
Johnny
Hand?
Silverhand.
Hand. Which is a very badass name for him.
I also learned that to try Halo Reach on PC, I have to get that PC Game Pass and update Windows, which I'm not happy about.
Rip.
I know, right?
I thought, doesn't Windows just like update itself in the middle of you recording this podcast?
Oh, I have that disabled.
Isn't that what it's meant to do?
You know, when you're working on editing podcasts,
You can disable that now?
There's a way to disable it. You just set your
good.
internet as a metered connection, and it won't auto update.
Ah.
And I guess the other big news that has come out since we done the Microsoft one is that the Final Fantasy remake
They cancelled it.
Yeah.
is releasing.
It's actually
Kieran?
coming out
Yeah.
in, what did I say? March 3rd next year. They announced it during the Final Fantasy VII Symphony reunion concert thing that apparently was a disaster if fans on Twitter are to be believed. They said that there was like a good chunk of the music was just the original MIDI tracks and the orchestra weren't doing anything, which sounds awful. But
Sounds
in
true
true
to
Square
form.
fashion, I think they did the same thing last year with Kingdom Hearts, I think it was. They just dropped their release date announcement in the middle of that instead of waiting for their E3 prezo. So that was interesting.
So is this is the first? This is the first episode, or
They didn't make that clear. It literally just says Final Fantasy VII Remake releasing March 3rd. So it's the last that anyone heard, they were doubling down on it being episodic. So I think that's the case, but it's
What's
not
the
super clear yet.
likelihood that they've only built the first enemy, so you fight him and that's it?
That's episode 1.
this is the demo is releasing in March. For the game. you get a free demo.
You get a free demo when you give them like $50.
But yeah, it also only had PS4 branding as far as I can tell. So there was rumors a little while ago that it might still be coming to Xbox as well, but maybe not.
I can't wait to see them bring it out like 18 months later for PC.
I mean, early next year is already looking pretty stacked as well. You got
March and April. February, March and April.
Cyberpunk, on the 16th. This in March. What else is coming out?
Ori.
They reckon
Ori.
They reckon Last of Us will come out in one of those months. I don't think there's anything. Is there anything else that's been? I can't remember.
There's still a lot of vague 2020s, but I can imagine that period's going to be pretty chockers.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's getting harder to find a good release date now for these big games. But
yeah.
And they all seem to release it like around the same time. Like you look in the past like couple of weeks, there's been like next to nothing is released. Unless I've missed something that's come out in the last couple of weeks.
Not really.
Yeah, Journey on PC.
So it's
Yeah, so nothing.
so it's like why doesn't someone just go, you know what, the 3 weeks before E3 are going to be bare. Let's have that. Don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people with numbers to crunch and data to look at that understand why they're doing it the way they do it.
And pre-orders to promote.
Yeah, well, that's why they being the sinking city, that's why they delayed their game from March until June, a couple of weeks, because they wanted to get out of that hectic sort of period. And I guess they're a smaller game, so they would probably be a bit more affected by bigger blockbusters.
Yeah, for sure.
Taking up the people's money. All right, well, shall we leave it there?
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Good catching up.
So if you want to check out all the E3 announcement, go to www.well-played.com.au and you can check out all the latest information and announcements there. And we'll see you tomorrow. Well, yeah, tomorrow for the Ubisoft and Square and Kind of Funny, I think. Is that all?
PC Gamer is tomorrow as well, isn't it?
Nah, who cares?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
who
AMD
cares?
also have a presence tomorrow.
Right, you can do that one on your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.